Hi, everyone, and welcome to day 20 of What on Earth Am I Here For? And today is a very interesting topic. We're talking about restoring broken fellowship. God has restored our relationship with Him through Christ, and He has given us this ministry of restoring relationships. 2 Corinthians 5:18. All relationships are worth restoring. I'm going to say that again. All relationships are worth restoring. No matter how heinous or horrible or bad the person is, the fact that there's a rift or any hate in your heart or anger or regret or anything that's in your heart weighing you down or between the two of you, that means that there is that form of negative evil. And when you restore this relationship, it is a way for you to fully fulfill your destiny in goodness, to build the kingdom, and to be more fully evolved as yourself. Because all conflicts are barriers for you to become a better person spiritually. So when you overcome these broken relationships by love, you yourself will also benefit from it. Life is all about learning how to love. That's what Pastor Rick wrote. And God wants us to value friendships and relationships. And Paul's even written, if you've gotten anything at all out of following Christ, if His love has made any difference in your life, if being in a community of the Spirit means anything to you, agree with each other, love each other, be deep-spirited friends. So, here's the thing. It says this has nothing to do with compatibility. The person that you're hating on could be someone totally different from you, like you don't see eye to eye in a particular issue. It doesn't matter. Because when you come down to it, you're both children of God and you have every reason to get along and no reason not to. So, Paul chastises the church and says, shame on you, surely there's at least one wise person in your fellowship who can settle a dispute between fellow Christians. And this has to be done as soon as possible. In fact, he said, I'll put it as urgently as I can. You must get along with each other. It is a must. If you want God's blessing, it says, God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called children of God. It's not blessed are the peace lovers, because everyone loves peace, but you have to work for it. You have to chase after it. You have to make it happen. And avoiding conflict is one way how to do it. Peacemaking is not appeasement where you act like a doormat and agree to everything the other person wants. No, but peacemaking is actually making both parties happy with the outcome. So let's see how we're going to restore the relationship. First, you have to talk to God about that person. I do this a lot, and so does David with his Psalms. It's called vertically ventilating. Our Pastor Rick calls it ventilate vertically. That just means that God is the ultimate person that you can talk to with your deepest fears, with your prayers, with your anger, with anything that's unresolved. Just lift it up to Him, and He will be the one to make it right, because He loves you and He loves everyone, and anyone who cries out to God, God listens. That's the generosity of His magnanimous and amazing love and spirit. So He is truly amazing, and that's one of the things that you can count on God for. And sometimes fights stop because you pray. You don't even have to do anything, but you just pray. And after that, sometimes you'll get clarity of what to do and what to say and how to say it. But one thing's important, which is also the next step that Pastor Rick says. It says, always take initiative, because it doesn't matter if you're the offended party or you're the offender. There's always a way to become powerful in love, and that is to take initiative for peace. If you enter your place of worship and
are about to make an offering, and you suddenly remember a grudge a friend has against you. Abandon your offering, leave immediately, go to this friend and make things right. Then and only then come back and work things out with God. So you can see how this was written, in the Old Testament even, because God prefers peace rather than sacrifice. So make peace, especially with those relationships that you see every day or have calcified through years of non communication. So to worry yourself to death or would be a foolish thing, Job says. And it says you're only hurting yourself with your anger. So how do you do this? How do you get rid of the anger? You have to sympathize with the feelings of the other person. See what could have caused their actions. And don't ever assume that you know what they're thinking, especially when your assumptions are evil. Like, oh, he must not like me, or she must want me to leave, or, all these evil assumptions and evil doubts put you against the best for everyone. So clarify it nicely with a person and assume the best. And when you assume the best, usually everything works out. But when you assume the worst and attack a person for something that's not even real, then you lose a relationship. Or if you stay away because you think they think a certain way and that thought was totally baseless, then your assumption just cost you a good friendship. So you have to bear the burden of being considerate of their doubts and fears. Remember that. Bear the burden of their doubts and fears. And sometimes you're the one with the doubts and fears. You think, oh, they don't like me, or they must not love me, or they don't want to hang out with me. You bear the burden of your doubts and fears. And if you can't bear it, lift it up to God and ask Him, Lord, please bear my doubts and fears and restore my relationships. So I pray that you would see what relationship needs restoration right now, and you would prepare yourself internally and externally to be able to fix what was broken. Next, when you're actually talking to them, you have to confess your part of the conflict. This sets up your interaction as one of humility, and it puts them off guard because you're actually telling them what you did wrong. So you have to also attack the problem, not the person. In marriages, it's always that there's an issue and the two of you have to work out to solve it. It's not you versus the other person, because then you won't act like a married couple. And not just married couples, you can also do this with friends. You can say, look, I haven't seen you in a long time, I feel like this, I feel, let's say, left out, etc., and I'd like to see you more. Is there something we could do? And by doing that, instead of saying, hey, you must not like me very much, are we still even friends, or something like an assumption like that, it would really harm the relationship. That's why you always have to speak kindly in love and bear the burden of the doubt. The next step is to cooperate as much as possible. It's true. Sometimes it's hard to meet your friends, or they're being rude or annoying. Then you have to cooperate, and because your goal is to make peace, you won't stop until you get there, right? So you can reestablish and reconnect with any relationship. And the goal should be just getting back that same trust that you had in the beginning. So are you thinking of someone that you need to talk to? Yes? If so, then stop this tape and go right now to talk to this person. Right now. Okay, and for those who don't have a particular person, remember that relationships are always worth restoring. So do everything possible on your part to live in peace with everyone. And the question is, who do I need to restore a broken relationship with today?